I don't know, but that's annoying because
Why is for spamming?
I don't
I
like
mean,
the
I guess you
spamming the
get
single letters.
engagement. Yeah, that looks kind of ugly, to
It's
be
just
fair.
obnoxious. Because
Yeah.
they take up the whole chat so nobody else can say anything. Send in the bots. Ah, man. These people, like, no life at all. Imagine your life, like, your life's purpose is to hate other people. Imagine that. I just don't relate to it. Like, my life is so dull and boring and meaningless that I have to make it my entire life's purpose to find people to hate and make sure that they know how much I hate them.
I mean, yeah, like, I hate people quietly. Like, if I hate people, I don't tell them about it.
I just don't hate people because it's a waste of time and effort, and life's too short. And
Yeah, fair enough.
like, I mean, I don't want to be hated, so I don't hate people. You'd have to really, I mean, even, I don't know. I don't hate people. I can't think of anyone that I hate.
Personally, for me, I'm just a really jaded person overall, so it's kind of like natural for me to just heavily dislike a lot of people. But I don't like get in their face and start telling them I'm gonna hurt them or anything like that. Like, I never do that. I just go next. Like, I move on.
Well, I could say like there are people I don't like. Like I don't like their personality, their characteristics, like their character, their like things that they stand for, the things that they say, the way they behave. There are people that I don't like, but I don't hate them, and I don't wish anything bad upon them. And like, you know, if their life was in danger and I could intervene and save them, I believe I would, even if I don't like them.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not saying I like
Probably a
everyone.
better person than me for that alone. I'm way too jaded to help even the people that I sometimes like. Like, there's just a lot of things, of course, I've seen too much. And that's not even me being edgy, that's like, I grew up traumatized, like a lot of people have.
I just feel like, well, one, I believe in forgiveness.
Right.
I want to be forgiven for things that I have done, whether intentionally or unintentionally, things that I've done or said that have hurt other people, whether I knew how harmful it was or whatever. But I believe in that, and so I believe in forgiveness. And also, it's just that the energy that you put into, it's just negative energy. It's like, I feel like it hurts. Unforgiveness and hatred hurts the person who's feeling it. So it's like this, right? Let's just say hypothetically, you hate me, right?
Right.
And for whatever reason it may be, like you just hate me and you're
I just hate you.
mad at me, and
like, it's your
you,
face,
you don't
like,
forgive
you did
me.
wrong years ago or something.
Yeah, and you won't forgive me and all that, right? But like,
right.
but like, you're sitting there thinking about it, and you're the one that like maybe can't sleep at night because you're wishing bad things upon me or whatever it may. But I'm sleeping fine and I'm chilling and I'm not thinking about it and it's not affecting me, you know. But
That's
you get,
actually a really interesting way to think about it.
yeah, because it's the person that's doing the hating and the having those feelings is the one that's really like weighed down by it and harmed by it, whereas, you know, like I might care to the point where I'd be like, well, you know, that sucks that she feels that way about me, and you know, I wish she didn't, but like I'm not laying there at night being like, well, what could I do to win her over and make her like me, and like my life just won't go on unless I have her approval. Because, you know, one thing is for certain, that no matter what you do in life and who you are, there's always going to be people that hate you, whether it's for a reason or not.
Yeah, that's something I've definitely noticed. I think you have a really like positive outlook on that. I don't really hear your take or like the takes that you have very often with how social media is and like how the world is. All you ever really see is hatred, right? So hearing like such a positive outlook from somebody who genuinely believes it is always like so refreshing. Like that's awesome. I'm so glad that's how you feel. Like that's kind of the person that I wish I could be, you know?
Well, honestly, it's something that, like, it's probably not something that comes natural to most people, and I don't even necessarily know or think that it came natural for me. I think there was a point in my life where I just decided that that's what made sense and that was how I wanted to be, and everything begins with a thought and a decision. Like, you know, I hear a lot of people say, like, well, I can't, I'm just not that way, or, you know, it's easy for you because, you know, your circumstances. But I think everything begins with deciding that you want to think. Like, it all starts with how you think and how you can make yourself, like, you can train yourself to think a certain way. It's not going to happen overnight, but you catch yourself thinking a certain way and you say, like, hey, like, I don't want to think like that, so I'm going to think about something else and think about something positive. And I think if you just, it's like anything, okay, let's just say DVD, for instance. Like, I'm not the greatest looper. I never really, like, learned how to loop a lot. Like, I didn't study the tiles and all the checkpoints. Like, I have a general idea, but, you know, I was more into playing nurse. But, you know, if I really wanted to be a loop master, let's say turn off the hacks and be the best looper out there, I would just have to dedicate all the time that it would take to study it and learn it inside and out and get comfortable with it. Or it could be anything, like moonwalking or trying to spin a killer, whatever the thing is. You train yourself and learn how to do it. Like martial arts, dancing, like that's why there are just some amazing dancers. I get like things that pop up in my TikTok feed, and I don't know what you'd call it. It's kind of like break dancing, but it's like, I was gonna say it's these Asians, but Asians are really good at everything. But but it's just so, like, I'm not really into dancing, but like when I watch these videos, I'm just mesmerized, and I kind of watch them on loop like 3 or 4 times because I'm like, how's this person moving their body that way? Like, how are they even doing that? But the truth is, they just put in the time that it took to get good at it. And and this,
you're like equating that
to
a
thinking, yeah, to thinking, yeah, and
okay,
to,
that makes sense.
and yeah, I just think, like I said, it'll be harder for some people because it's like we have natural inclinations. Like some people might naturally have more rhythm, so they're gonna, oh, she quit. So they're gonna naturally be better at dancing, or somebody who's more naturally inclined to singing might have more of a natural talent, but it doesn't mean that somebody who doesn't can't learn it. You know, just like we all have like more of our natural talents, but then we also have our, like, more of our vices. Like some people have problems with, like, stealing. They see something that doesn't belong to them, but they get tempted to take it, whereas other people don't really struggle with that. Some people struggle with anger, some people struggle with lying, some people struggle with, like, multiple different things. But, you know, but all those things are beatable. Like there's people who are alcoholics that, or smokers that put it down and never touched it again for 30 years.
Right. Yeah. Me personally, like, I think I kind of pulled the short end of the stick for a lot of things. Like, I'm very naturally talented in lying, as well as, like, a lot of mischievous things that I should not be naturally talented in. Uh, but, like, trying I've actually like learned to catch myself in a lie, and it took years because I was so used to lying for the longest time that anytime I find myself like lying, I'll be like, "Oh no, I'm lying." Like I'll say it flat out, and people are like, "What? You're lying? What do you mean?" Because they don't believe me. They believed the lie so much that they don't believe me when I say like, "Oh, I'm lying." And it took years. So trying to change a mental attitude from like negative to positive will probably take twice as long.
Yeah, like I'm not saying anything will happen overnight. Like these are probably like great accomplishments in some cases, but all I'm saying
Mhm.
is it's possible to.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point with me where it's like when I was younger, I didn't really have like a lot of empathy. I couldn't put myself in other people's shoes, so it was like a character trait of mine. But once I became aware of it and I understood like, hey, this is a kind of like a problem. I don't really want to be that way.
Mhm.
Then I was just more conscious of it. So it's like you said, you like catch yourself in situations where you're like, hey, wait a minute, I'm doing that thing that I don't want to do.
Yeah, I shouldn't be negative. Like I shouldn't try and say insults. I should just smile and move on. Like catch yourself in the middle of like trying to boss someone around and you're like, "Oh wait, hang on." You know?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's definitely difficult to change a mental outlook, but you seem to have it down like almost naturally. It's kind of impressive.
I don't know. I've just
It
always
was
been
nice
like
talking to you guys, but I'm gonna go to sleep.
all right. See you
Good night,
next time. Good
homie.
night.
You guys sleep well.
Good night.
Good night.
Is there any way for you to mute the spammers in your chat, by the way?
I'm trying, but it's the same person that's just going full out bot mode.
Oh, okay. I'll just put in a report then. Say spam. Okay. Thanks, Tana.
I mean, it's like they're trying to make me hate them. I don't hate them. I just like kind of feel bad for them. Is this really your purpose in life? Wait, what is the real fizzle not?
Fizzle? The fizzle dizzle whizzle? The snizzle?
Yay.
Yay!
Yay. Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
Who's left with me?
Rhea.